Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Help Is Here podcast. Today I'm going to be answering the question, have I relapsed? And this is a question that you may have if you're trying to overcome a porn addiction. I remember back in the day, I spent quite a lot of time in like no-fap kind of communities and a different community called Brain Buddy. And what I'd often find is guys struggling with porn addiction going into these communities and sort of sharing random things that they'd done and being like, have I relapsed? Like, does this count as a relapse? So this is quite a common question that I believe people have. It isn't something that many of my clients really ask us. That's because they've been trained on dealing with the addicted part of the mind. And as I'm going to get into today, this question can often distract people from really focusing on what matters. So I'm going to share a bit of an example of how this question could play out. Now imagine I'm an alcoholic and I go to a bar. So I went to a bar last night. It was St. Patrick's Day. I was out in a club called the Fremont here in Manchester. It's like a bar/club. Pretty good night, you know, having a good time. I was with my best mate from school. I was with his girlfriend. I was with some more friends. I was with my girlfriend. It was a good night. And, you know, I'm just drinking the non-alcoholic Guinnesses because I don't really drink alcohol much these days. And my friend goes up to the bar and he's getting me a drink. And I'd already got him a drink. I thought he was going to get me a non-alcoholic Guinness, and he might have done. He might not have done. I'm not really sure. But later on in the night, my girlfriend was like, I think that drink that, we were having, because we were like sharing this pint because we're only staying for like one more drink and we both kind of wanted a half. So we just had like one pint to share. So she was kind of like, I think that was alcoholic, And I was like, oh, okay. Right. And it probably was, I felt a little bit tipsy after it, just a tiny bit. And then this morning I didn't feel 100%. So it probably was alcoholic. But let's say I was an alcoholic like myself, like, someone who wants to stop drinking like completely. Like I'm not, fortunately. I don't care that much. It's kind of just one of these choices where I'm like, not really worth it to drink alcohol. So I'm going to primarily abstain, but I'm not like fully teetotal. But let's say I was an alcoholic and this drink last night was alcoholic. So in that scenario, what would have happened today is I would have been spinning in circles with unanswerable questions around like, have I relapsed? Like, what do I do now? Do I like call up my friend from school and ask him if he ordered an alcoholic drink, or whether it was, a Guinness Zero, maybe like calling up the bar, like, hey, Fremont, do you know if that drink last night was alcoholic? Like, do you pour Guinness Zeros in Guinness like pint glasses and like just like being on this absolute frenzy trying to figure out that answer? But like it wouldn't really have got me anywhere. It would have all just been like feeding the addicted part of the mind's compulsivity of like overthinking, overanalysis, engaging in unanswerable questions, trying to figure out shit that doesn't really, help us at all. And it's very similar with like porn. Like people will often like engage in some kind of behavior. Maybe it's like scrolling on Instagram. You see something slightly sexually provocative, and then like you'll go online and it's like, hi guys, have I relapsed? I just saw this Instagram model and I looked at it for like 2 seconds longer than I should have done. What do I do now? Should I reset my counter? And to me, like that kind of thinking is just so far from the place we want to be. What we do with our clients, if they have any sort of questions like that, is just say to them, okay, well, right now at this moment, you have a critical choice to make for yourself. Like use your script and fully disengage from that line of thinking, because it isn't going to get you anywhere good. And the way we see things is that kind of question of like, have I relapsed, is often the addicted part of the mind posing as the rational part of the mind to try and get you to adopt a position of helplessness, so it can get you to go, fuck it, like I've already messed up, may as well keep on relapsing, and essentially go and look at more and more sexual content, or in the alcoholics scenario, be like, I've already messed up now, may as well go neck a load of shots or whatever. So it's not a good place to be. We would definitely disengage from that line of questioning and instead adopt a position of empowerment where we're like, okay, well, I know what's going on here. Like the addicted part of the mind is trying to get me to question myself. All I need to do is make the choice right now in this moment, because that's where I actually have like power and control over my choices in the present moment. It isn't like last night when I'm celebrating St. Patrick's electric state and I didn't know whether the drink was alcoholic or not. Like, I've got no control or power over that. So that's kind of why the addicted part of the mind for someone in an addiction would try and get them into that mental state, like questioning something they've done in the past, because it takes their attention away from the reality that they actually have a choice in the present moment to now make a decision. Hopefully that makes some sense. So yeah, it's just like one very small part really of the whole Beyond Compulsion method, and hopefully this can help you a little bit. If you would like to better understand how much porn addiction is impacting your life, feel free to take the compulsion test, and I will leave a link to that below. You can get a score out of 100. If you leave your number, I might give you a call as well. Cheers for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.